there, greetings everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, the spoiler-heavy live movie discussion show, especially for you, okay? So if you are a movie nerd like me and you love a show that gives you the chance to talk about a movie in particular, in this case, in this week, Flight Risk, ad nauseum, and you prefer to talk about that here instead of boring your wife or boring your husband or your friends and losing them all, well, you're in the right place here, okay? Movies, Merica, spoiler warning. So again, this episode is about Mel Gibson's new movie, Flight Risk, and we'll get into that. We'll do a little deep dive. We'll bust out the scalpel and the suction. We'll do a little surgery. We'll get surgical on Flight Risk. But first, this.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, yeah. Just wanted to get a little intro in there and make sure that you guys knew what show you're watching there. And I had to also give myself the time to get over my gag reflex because I was just watching Nerdrotic's review of Emilia Perez, and so I had to kind of recover from that and look at some pictures that would help me get over my need to just kind of purge my lunch and then breakfast and then yesterday's supper and yesterday's lunch and all that stuff after watching the Emilia Perez video from Nerdrotic right there. So lesson learned. I'm not going to watch a video like that right before I do my own show here ever again. Yikes. Okay. But with that being said, I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. You know who you are, and you guys don't watch an Emilia Perez video. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Just trust me. If you haven't already, take my word for it. Don't do it. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, I'm still that movie got 13 Academy Award nominations. So apparently the Academy thinks it's better than Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark and Lawrence of Arabia and Casablanca and all these great movies. But you look at the ratings of Emilia Perez, like hell, even the critics don't like it that much. And this is this movie about a man transitioning to a woman. That's catnip for the Hollywood bubble critics right there. But anyway, you guys didn't come here to tune in about a show about Emilia Perez. You guys want to talk about some Flight Risk, and boy, I don't blame you right there, okay? Because I was just bloviating right there, and I'm sure you guys were like,
"It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?"
No, you will not have to hear it again, and I will not say it again. So there we go. But hopefully you guys have seen Flight Risk. Apparently a few of you have. It took the #1 spot at the box office last weekend there, to the disappointment of all Mel Gibson haters out there. Apparently it hasn't been almost 20 years, hasn't been long enough to stop looking down their nose at him in judgment. Okay, so what he did was terrible and whatnot, but let's weigh it on the Harvey Weinstein scale. Okay, it's still nothing compared to what that dude did, all right, or Bill Cosby or whatever. So, but yeah, it took the #1 spot there last week at the box office, and so a few of you have seen it. But let's get into a little Flight Risk here and talk about that right now. And again, this is spoiler heavy. So again, you know what? Don't say I didn't warn you. I even have spoiler warning in the title of the show, okay, to let you guys know. And then I know that there is, a subset of you that's like, I don't care if it gets spoiled. It's all good. I mean, and this is not the worst movie to have spoiled. I mean, it's like a 90s action movie. It's a callback to that. Plus the trailer basically gives away the big part of the plot right there. But you know what? It turns out that the decision really to make Wahlberg's hitman character bald was a good one, because it's giving Flight Risk some notoriety and buzz, some water cooler talk. I don't know. Do companies still have water coolers? Do people still hang out and chill and shoot the shit and have a good hang at the water cooler anymore? I don't know. I don't work in an office anymore, so I don't know. But it has, this movie does have some buzz that I don't know would have had otherwise right there, with the fact that Mark Wahlberg is shaving his head and going to those lengths right there. So just so you believe me, I'll show you. He was getting his head shaved here real quick.
We're disappointed in you, Winston, and he wants you dead.
Who joins us this morning.
Just got to fast forward through this here just to get to the good stuff.
Mark, playing a bad guy. You're not a bad guy. I mean, that's a change for you.
I had a wonderful time making this movie. I've always rooted for characters like Jack Nicholson's character in The Shining and Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. So I've played a villain in the past, and I've definitely played these kind of anti-heroes who live in the gray area. But
hey, if you guys can name the one other movie he's played a villain in the live chat, let me know. Hey, and that reminds me, you guys can live chat with me on YouTube or Rumble right there. So, and you basically, so you don't have to just sit here and listen to me yap the whole time. You can definitely get involved right there. So, and King of Sanity, hey, we got our first catch of the day in the live chat right here. King of Sanity says, is this movie about 9/11? Well, hey, thanks for joining the show here, King of Sanity. And no, it is not about 9/11. No, it is not. It's quite different than that. So, but hey, Flight Risk would be a good title for a United 93 story. Okay, obviously we already had the movie United 93 from Paul Greengrass there about those heroic passengers. But yeah, Flight Risk. Hey, if they, I think Flight Risk might have been a more marketable name for that movie right there. But maybe they wanted United 93 so that there was no confusion as to what it was all about or something like that. But that's my long-winded answer, King of Sanity, to your question about is this movie about 9/11? No, this is definitely a lighter movie than a movie about 9/11 would be.
to play a full-on villain was something that I was looking forward to doing. It just had to be the right situation. And then when Mel presented me the screenplay, I thought, wow, what a wonderful opportunity to really do something different and surprise audiences.
Yeah, Mel Gibson, dropping the name there. He is the director of this. You play a pilot transporting an air marshal and fugitive to a trial. The twist is it's not the fugitive that's the bad guy, it's you. You're a hitman sent to kill the witness. I think the very first thing that I noticed clearly was your hair.
Let's get to the head shaving. Oh, I think they're about to get to it. And hey, Sean, how you doing there? There you go. So, sorry about the dead air there. It says, hey, Van, hey, you're right back at you. Thanks for popping into the show right there. And hey, just to let everybody know, because his very presence reminded me of this, go ahead and look up I'm Sean Cav on Rumble, and you'll check out his show right there, and I'm sure that'll lead you down the rabbit hole of his other content that he has, and you'll introduce yourself to the whole world, the I'm Sean Cav cinematic universe right there. And what do I see to my wandering eye? But hey, we got Sean. Also, he's stepping up the game of this show right here. He's enhancing the show with a $5 Rumble rant with talking about Mr. Wahlberger. Yeah, exactly. So who can forget that Mark Wahlberg's one of his brothers started up the burger joint Wahlburgers there. So, and I appreciate the $5 Rumble rant right there, and this is for you. And actually, that hit me right at the right time right there, or just in time, because I had a massive frog in my throat. So, yeah, $5 Rumble rant. Appreciate that. And that reminds me that you can do as Sean did, where on Rumble, you can give me a Rumble rant, and that basically is just an opportunity for you to throw a little money my way if you are digging what I'm doing here. And very easy to do down in Rumble, down by where you type in your live chat message there. There's a button that has a dollar sign on it. You just got to click on that. It'll just ask how much you want to throw my way as far as cash. And then if you're on the tube of views or YouTube, you can give me what's called a super chat. And down by where you type in your live chat, so similar situation, just click on the button with a dollar bill on it, and it'll ask you how much you want to throw my way, and that's it. That's all there is right there. So thanks for the reminder of that. They're shown right there, and your hamburger emoticon there is making me hungry. Yes, and I don't know why I'm saying it in such a creepy voice. All right, gonna stop right now.
In the movie because it's missing. Well, at least part of it.
Yeah, I pitched Mel this idea, that, I come on as this kind of aw shucks kind of guy. You really think, okay, this guy's definitely going to be the one who saves the day and figure out how to land the plane safely. And then all of a sudden, I kind of, lose the accent, and next thing you know, I lose the hat and my hair is attached to it. And there's just this wild, unhinged guy who comes to life after he's electrocuted and, just causes mayhem from there. And Mel was into the idea, he didn't mind as long as I was really going to shave my head, which I was happy to do. Just to see my kid's face when I came home with this new haircut was priceless. My wife threw it under the covers. She was terrified. So it was a lot of fun.
We're showing some video that you shared on social media about this buzz, or just straight out shave. It is quite the look. How many did you have to do it multiple times? Or I read that this movie only took you 22 days to shoot. That's crazy in movie terms, isn't it?
It's very fast, yes.
When Mark Wahlberg actually involuntarily looks like that, that's when we'll all know we're really old. Okay, so when Mark Wahlberg faces that baldness demon then we'll know we're really old right there, because he's been blessed with a pretty generous mane of hair. But even those guys eventually, they kind of start, not kind of, they do lose it right there. But I don't know. Hey, Art Garfunkel, he probably kept his hair for, until, he's still alive. Never mind, bad example. All right, more of this.
For me, it was exciting because I don't like the sitting around part of making movies. I like when the cameras are actually rolling, so we were working nonstop. But I kind of did the haircut once, and then I just had to reshave.
All right, enough of that right there. So you get the point. All right there, but thanks to Wahlberg's hair becoming The Departed, people are talking about this movie. All right, with more people than you would expect to hear, because this is not some big event movie or anything like that, and it doesn't mean that they like the movie just because they're talking about it. And some think it's goofy that Wahlberg shaved most of his head. I mean, it's not the first time, though, that Wahlberg has physically transformed himself for a role. I mean, the end of Boogie Nights, am I right? Am I right? And it's, and that physical transformation at the end of Boogie Nights, that reflected very, very well for one Mark Wahlberg there. So I'm sure he has no problem with that physical enhancement that they did for him as Dirk Diggler on Boogie Nights there. So yeah, but well, that's good. It makes you wonder, how much did they have to enhance right there? I mean, we talked about a little tic tac or what? maybe Mark Wahlberg disrobed on the set of Boogie Nights, and then the filmmakers were like, we're definitely going to need an enhancement over here. Get over here. There we go. All right. Call up Stan Winston or Rick Baker, H.R. Geiger. Get one of those creature effects. We're going to need something much bigger than what we're working with. All right. So, all right. Let's do this here. Let's switch it up a little bit here. And I am going to do that by letting you guys know about our tdpn.locals.com website that you see right up there at the tippy top. It's kind of like the chandelier over my head here. And that is our Till Death Podcast Network. That's what the TDPN stands for, if you haven't figured that out yet. It's the tdpn.locals.com website that has all our great content like videos and blogs and articles all about movies and entertainment and booze, like cocktail recipes and politics and hot button sizzling topics of the day, like the kind of topics, where they bring it out to your table on that sizzling hot cast iron blade. It's like, see, I do my own sound effects for the show right there. I'm sure it sounded perfectly like sizzling fajitas, there at a restaurante. But yeah, sizzling hot topics like that. That's one of the things we have at tdpn.locals.com for you to check out to entertain yourself when you get bored. Maybe you're taking the Browns to the Super Bowl on your porcelain guide, and like, man, this is dull, this is boring. Hey, I wonder what's on tdpn.locals.com, and then you can go ahead and check that out right there. While you're basically dropping a deuce. And, by the time you pull up your underoos, you're going to be that much more knowledgeable about this and that kind of thing. And as you see down below, if you put in promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free membership on tdpn.locals.com. Okay, that means you're a VIP member, all right? You are one of the big boys. You're kind of a big deal. You're kind of a big deal at tdpn.locals.com. You're a high roller. And then after that first free month, and that first free month will go very, very fast. It's just a measly, piddly little Mark Wahlberg sized penis amount of money. Oh, never mind. I take that back. It's just $3. It's nothing. $3 a month to keep up your high roller status right there. And if you want to donate more than $3, hey, by all means, far be it from me to stop you with your generosity, with your philanthropic leanings and all that stuff. So check that out, everybody. tdpn.locals.com. Hey, and if you are checking out, or if you're liking what you're hearing and watching here, or hearing and seeing, there we go. Let's try that again. Here on Movies Merica, spoiler warning, as we talk about flight risk. Then hey, go ahead and give this episode a like right there. So hit that like button down there, all right? So go ahead and just drop kick that sucker. And then also while you're down there hitting buttons, go ahead and click that follow or subscribe button down there on whatever platform you're watching said show on. And then while you're down there clicking buttons, hey, if you haven't already, hit that notification bell down there so you hear that sweet ding, 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 ding when there's a new piping hot, fresh episode of Movies Merica ready for your consumption, okay? And then, again, if you're watching live, feel free to live chat with me here on the show right there, okay? And you don't have to talk just about flight risk. You can talk about any Mark Wahlberg movie, any Mel Gibson movie that you want. Hell, any movie you want. Hell, just talk about anything you want in the live chat with me. Try to throw me off, okay? I know that's like, what some people try to do on other shows. They try to throw the hosts off and whatnot. And like, we're talking about the we're talking about the Republican National Convention, and I'm sitting here in the live chat, and they're talking about sweet pickles versus dill pickles. What the hell? What's going on? Like some hosts have to deal with that stuff right there, trying to throw things off or whatever, and then also, if you get in the live chat, don't be like one of those like stuck up clicky groups of live chatters. You see somebody new in the live chat, welcome them in, all right? And if they want to interact with you, interact with them back. I know that you get on some shows, and the people in the live chat, they're very cliquey. They're like a group of junior high school girls, and try to mix it up with them and that kind of thing. And they don't respond back to you. They just respond back to each other and that kind of thing. So don't be dicks like that. So just mix it up, respond, be friendly, all that stuff. That's the fun of live chat on shows like this, and on Rumble and YouTube is you get to meet new people, with common occurrences or common interests, all that stuff right there. And oh man, I think I'm frozen up, aren't I? Yeah, I'm frozen up. This is not good right there. I just noticed that there. Let's do this. Yeah, that is looking like dog shit right there. And I even rebooted right before the show. Let's try. Let's do this. Back to stage. See, that makes a difference there. Well, that is disappointing. That is okay. So let's see if that does anything better. Let's refresh that. Yeah, it's just kind of the hazards of the trade here with doing a live show right there. You're at the mercy of the internet here. Even still in 2025, internet is still not dependable here. But maybe we got Chinese hackers or something like that jacking around with the internet there. So let's see. Yeah, I see the signal strength is dog. Signal strength is dog shit right here. So let's do that. And okay. Oops, there we go. See, I'm dropping shit already. Let's do this. See if we can get this to be a little bit better. All right. That might be improving already. Let's do that. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then we'll see if that improves there. Let me do this here. Sometimes you got to do this to make things a little bit better. All right. Get out of here. I know it's fascinating to watch right here. Get the hell out of here. There we go. Okay. And, I should do that thing like the coffee talk thing on Saturday Night Live that they did back in the day. And basically give you a topic to talk about, like the topic is Snickers versus Three Musketeers. Which one's better? Discuss. All right. I'm going to try to get somebody to join us here to keep the show going and kicking ass and all that. All right. And Sean, if you're still watching, feel free to, if you want to help a brother out and log into the episode here, jump in the episode here real quick. And because I think I'm going to have to reboot there. And if I can't get Sean or Ian to just quickly just jump onto the show here real quick to hold it down for a couple minutes while I log out, then it's all good. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but all right. It's good to have reinforcements, so good to have friends you can count on right here. All right. There we go. All right. So I sent that out right there. Now, of course, by the time I get a response from them, like the video will clear up and it'll look better and all that stuff. All right. So, but hey, you know what? Let's go and move on. Onwards and upwards and whatnot. You got to, it's like they say, you know what buffalo do when there's like a thunderstorm on the horizon. They go right through that thunderstorm, right? They don't go around it like everybody else would do. They don't go around the tornado and the thunderstorm right there. A buffalo goes right through the thunderstorm and the tornado like the furry badasses that they are. And so I'm going to make like a buffalo. I'm going to make like a Tatanka on Dances with Wolves and try to just ram right through this tornado and thunderstorm and all that stuff and talk about some flight risk right there. Yeah. But I think that Mel Gibson does the danger in a confined space thing in Flight Risk. However, the marketing department did him no favors in spoiling the big secret that Wahlberg's pilot is really a hitman, right? I mean, it gave up the ghost. I mean, you just watch the trailers to this movie. You're like, Mark Wahlberg's in here. He's probably like, this heroic pilot. Here he's going to help the nice Marshal get the government winners. Holy shit, what the hell? He's got a gun and he's trying to kill them all. What the hell? Like, oh, what the hell? What this trailer just gave up the big plot point. The big reveal or the big whatever they call it. It's spoiling everything. There we go. Let's simplify it right there. And so, yeah, right from the jump, we know he's a hitman. I mean, us not knowing that would have really helped create the opportunity to steadily ratchet up some tension. Since we know that Wahlberg is the baddie before we even sit our butt in the theater seats, Mel Gibson and his writer, Jared Rosenberg, then what they have to do is they have to try to compensate for us, knowing what's going on with Mark Wahlberg. They have to try to compensate with good writing and captivating performances. Let's just say that doesn't quite happen. Plus, there are better danger in a confined space movies out there, such as Crawl, with the killer alligators in a flooded basement, in the middle of a Florida hurricane. That's a really good movie, Crawl. There, that was a pleasant surprise. It's got Barry Pepper in that movie there as the dad. Barry Pepper, you probably know him best. He's in Saving Private Ryan. There, he plays Jackson, the sniper on Saving Private Ryan there, and then his daughter comes home to see if he's around, just make sure he's okay, because she knows that the house is right in the middle of this Florida hurricane and whatnot, and so they get trapped in the basement of this old house there in Florida there because of the flooding and that kind of thing. And then pretty soon they got to contend with killer alligators, coming after them in this little confined basement space right there. And then also, hey, you know what? I can't be a snake and leave out snakes on a plane there. I mean, I've had it. I'm sick of these motherfucking planes on this motherfucking snake on this motherfucking plane. See, I blew the line. I blew the line. Oh, my God. At least it still sounded better than the TV edit of that line there. So, I can't stand it. I'm sick of the frigin', the snooky, whatever the stupid, crappy, the TV edit that they did of that line, I'm sick of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, that line right there. But yeah, I think both Snakes on a Plane and Crawl are better confined space, danger in a confined space movies than Flight Risk. And that's sad to say about a Mel Gibson movie. Mel Gibson can't even make a better danger in a confined space movie than those two movies. And that's not to besmirch those two movies there, but anyway, I'm not even gonna get into wondering why the hell did Mel Gibson do this movie. But I mean, he's used to doing big event movies and that kind of thing. So I thought it was a little weird going on with that. But I think one of the weaknesses with Flight Risk is that once Wahlberg's character breaks free of his restraints the first time, it's hard to believe that Madeline, the U.S. Marshal there, played by whatever, if I forget the actress's name, it's hard to believe that Madeline wouldn't have ordered Winston to just keep eyes on Wahlberg the whole time. Keep your eyes on him over there. Don't look at me. Look at him. Don't look at me. Look at him. And they would have seen that he's trying to break out his restraints. He's trying to get the knife and all that stuff. They would have seen that. But again, if they would have done that, then there would have been, hardly any movie. And, something tells me that Madeline wouldn't have had to work too hard to convince Winston to follow that order to, basically just stalk Mark Wahlberg's character with your eyeballs right there so you can see what he's doing the whole time. It's stuff like that where you just have to suspend your disbelief. Now, just to reinforce that Wahlberg isn't the pervy hitman he is in the movie, how about a sweet little Wahlberg palate cleansing video there? And we'll see how the video plays on here, since the video coming from my camera is dog shit right here. But we'll try it. I'm going to see here what it looks like. Only one way to find out.
That's as good as I can sing. I mean, I tell you, people always how did you sing so bad? Look at my daughter's mortified. She's mortified. Oh, no. If I busted out an old rap right now, she would die. She doesn't want to speak to me now.
Yeah, Mark, how old is your daughter?
She is 13.
Oh, my gosh.
The big 13.
Okay.
And she's been asking me on all these interviews that I do to do the yup game. So every other question that you ask me now, I'm going to respond. First response will be yup. Then I will answer the question, then I will follow it with a yup. Now she's happy. So I said the yup.
She's got Paulie's microphone there if she wants to say something.
Dad, I want to hear you rap right now.
Whoa.
See, Wahlberg, he's he's not that pervy psycho hitman, in the movie right there. He's got a daughter and he's trying to be sweet and all that stuff. And he's, he's singing, you got the power, from Boogie Nights. It's all good there. So, but just wanted to show that right there. It's kind of a palate cleanser for the movie. And let's check it. Let's do a little refresh here and see how I'm looking. It looked like that video that I played looked better. It played better than what is coming from my camera here. So, but we'll see. I might have to like get my butt up from my seat and actually unplug my camera. Let's try that. See here. Yeah, look at that. I mean, I look like dog shit. That looks like some 1997 56K dial-up modem shit right there. No, that will not do. That will not do right there. All right. So there. Just hold on with me for just a moment here. So be right back. Ooh, I stubbed my toe. Oh. All right. Let's try this right here. All right. So just plug that in here. Let's see what we can see. Oh, yeah, it would help if I put my headphones on. You're getting a little taste of behind the scenes over here. Aren't you guys lucky? Seeing how the sausage is made. And let's get into the old settings right there. See what we see. Come on here, you piece of crap. Damn Chinese cameras. Yep, there we go. What is going on? Yep, I definitely made the situation better. All right, there we go. Let's try this. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, things are working like gangbusters here. All right, so let's try that. Oh, no. So you just got to piddle with the connection here. All right, here we go. That's not working. All right. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's do that. All right, let me try this again. Okay. Well, that is not okay. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. That's what we call technical difficulties, everybody. Let's get that going on. And let's move that over there. Let's get this all nice and arranged, all nicey nice. Okay. Well, that's not. Oh, there we go. See, I always have to have everything perfect. I got to have it all perfect over here. I always got to have everything perfect. Let's get that. No. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go with that right there. All right, there we go. Outstanding. All right, don't make perfect the enemy of good, as they say right there. Okay, so, all right, anyway. And where were we? I got to see if we can get back on track over here and get this done. And let's do this. Where were we at right there? We were just talking about good old oh, that's right. Yes, we were Talking about the Wahlberg rapping for the daughter video right there. Yes, exactly. So good time. And right now, actually, what I would normally be doing right now in this episode is I would be doing my brew review time here. Okay. Now, the reason I'm not doing it is because I'm on this fitness regimen kind of program called 75 Hard. And according to that, when you do that, drinking, pardon me, is a no-no. Yes, it's naughty. It's naughty. You can't drink as part of this 75 Hard, so I'm having to abstain to my dismay because I so love my brew, and so it's very, very hard for me to deal with that. Man, that video looks like shit. Oh my god. There we go. Look at that. All right. Yep. That sucks. This is it's one of those times where you're like, hey, Van, probably would be advantageous to you to actually have somebody do the show with you. So then when this happens, you don't have to worry about this, and you don't have to hope that someone's around to log into the show right there, because if they're out getting burritos or shopping for underwear and not available, well, you're kind of screwed there. So yeah, it's one of those things it's I think probably like a lot of content creators, they get into the situation like, yeah, I've been mulling over having somebody actually co-host the show with me, and I think this might seal my decision here. But all that to say is, no brew review time today. But what I can do here is tell you about our merch. Yes, the Movies Merica merch. Okay. So I don't know how motivated you're going to be to get some Movies Merica merch with all the Movies Merica technical difficulties in this particular episode. But hey, if you're still with me, if you're a very gracious person and you want to help support the show with by getting some Movies Merica merch, well, we have the Movies Merica link down in the description down below, where you get yourself a sweet Movies Merica t-shirt like you see up there at the top left. Or we don't just have t-shirts, we have like phone cases and shot glasses and pint glasses and yoga pants, if you can believe it. All with the Movies Merica logo emblazoned on there. So now on the yoga pants, I don't know if we have like a Movies Merica logo for each cheek, or if it's like just one big logo that covers both cheeks. I don't know. You'll have to look to find out there. But as you see down below, if you put in promo code MOVIES, you're going to get free shipping right there. So sweet. So yeah, grab yourself some Movies Merica merch today. Enhance your life with some Movies Merica merch. I mean, it's only going to make your life better. Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about some more Flight Risk right here. And let me get that up there so then you have to see less of my shitty, slow-ass camera. my shitty camera reception, if that is such a thing. There to check that out. I talk about some more Flight Risk, everybody. Yes. And so I'm glad we're getting past this little Flight Risk movie for Mel Gibson, so that he can concentrate on the Resurrection of the Christ movie that's coming out next right there, because that supposedly is going to be his next movie, is the Resurrection of the Christ. They're the sequel to, of course, The Passion of the Christ right there. I guess he didn't want to call it The Passion of the Christ 2 Electric Boogaloo, or The Passion of the Christ, Part 2, this time it's personal. Okay, nothing like that. Just wanted to, I think he thought the Resurrection of the Christ has a nicer ring to it. And I think he's right. But I just want to see Mel Gibson get back to substantial movies again after this little Flight Risk layover that he had. I mean, it used to be when a Gibson movie was being released, it was an event, right? I mean, he was like, oh shit, Mel Gibson's coming up with a new movie. What's it called? Oh, it's called Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge, really? Oh my god, I can't wait. Are you going to go see it? Oh, of course I'm going to go see it. Yeah, it's a Mel Gibson movie. It's a big event. Like, it used to be that, right? And now we don't. Now it's not that way anymore, because he just decided to make this what I call basically it looks like it could very easily be a Netflix movie. Okay. So that's why I said in my spoiler-free review that I did back on Sunday about Flight Risk, I basically quite frankly simply said, hey, Mel Gibson went from making Braveheart to making a Netflix movie, okay? And technically it's not a Netflix movie, but it looks like a Netflix movie to me there. And again, going back to Mel Gibson's movies being an event, Hacksaw Ridge, The Passion of the Christ, Braveheart, okay, Apocalypto. So his movies now are not events. We do see that now, like Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino and Denis Villeneuve, when they come out with a movie, their movies are events, okay? And Quentin Tarantino, his movies being events, that's been a phenomenon for a while now, for multiple decades, right? Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, not quite as long there. And I want the Resurrection of the Christ. I want it to be this massive cultural event that the Passion of the Christ was, the kind of movie where you can't go a day without someone asking you, hey, have you seen the Resurrection of the Christ? No, I haven't. Is it good? Oh, yeah, you got to go see it. So good. Good. Me and Lisa, we've already seen it 17 times. So like, it was an event movie like that. I mean, and we saw that same phenomenon with like Titanic and Avatar. Hey, both are James Cameron movies. There you go. Something about that James Cameron. Another event movie director there. So, but no one is asking that about Flight Risk right there. But not to say that that Mel Gibson didn't try to come out with a good movie right here. I mean, it wasn't for lack of trying right here, as we see here in this video. We'll see if this video plays okay.
Risk. Cut. In the director's chair.
Mark, Michelle, Topher, we're going to try that again. I want more intensity. Yeah, more is more. All right, if we all ready, it's... Oh, God, we need some Band-Aids. Where's my microphone? Where? Oh, here. All right, are we ready? And action! Man, I got a low blood sugar. Hey, can I get some fruit snacks over here?
Flight Risk. Only in theaters January 24th. Tickets on sale now.
All right. So at least Gibson still has a sense of humor there. And then also, like, if you want to see more of his very bizarre, very interesting sense of humor, there's a YouTube video out there. And if you just search for, like, Mel Gibson watches Flight Risk on 40X with fans, or Mel Gibson 40X Flight Risk, you'll see the video there, and it just shows that he's still got a sense of humor. It's a little weird. He's out there. He's a weird. He's kind of like the classic situation where guys get older and they get weirder. Their sense of humor gets more warped and twisted and that kind of thing, because really they just don't give a fuck anymore. That's one of the luxuries of getting older. Like, nobody wants to get older, but it does have its perks, right? You just get that point where, like, I don't give a shit anymore, all right? I'm way past the age of trying to be cool, especially if you're married with kids and that kind of thing. You got a spare tire. Like, you're not worried about being cool. And, Mel Gibson, he's swimming in loot. And, he's just like at that age where, like, I don't care. I'm going to be all weird. I'm going to let the weird thoughts that are going through my brain just come right out my mouth right there. Kind of like Trump. So, yeah. I mean, I like Trump, but that dude has got no brain mouth filter whatsoever. Like, what's up here just goes right out his mouth right there. So, it's like Trump, when it comes to what's in his brain and then what comes out of his mouth, there's no, like, checkpoint right there. He says something like, hey, this dude's got a big nose, and there's no checkpoint. Say, hey, Trump, you're the president. The president wouldn't say something like that. So let's restructure that right there. And then he comes out instead with, this gentleman, he has a interesting face. Like that guy. It doesn't have that verbal checkpoint. And Mel Gibson doesn't have that verbal checkpoint anymore. If you watch that video of him watching Flight Risk in 40X with fans right there. So, but I digest there. That was a whole friggin' diatribe right there that I was not intending to get into there whatsoever. Let me try to save the show here, actually, by letting you know, though, about a great sponsor that we have for the show called Flip City Magazine. So hopefully this will become the life preserver for the show. And you may be asking yourself, what is Flip City Magazine? Well, I shall tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with my shitty video quality on the show. So remember Mad Magazine and Cracked, funny magazines, right? Humorous magazines that you could pick up and get yourself a good it's so funny, and get yourself some giggles, right? Well, they don't make you laugh so much anymore, okay? They allowed themselves to be assimilated into the woke Borg, and so a worthy replacement was needed. So a magazine needed to pull the humor sword out of the stone. We needed a humorous magazine to become the new wielder of comedy Excalibur, okay? And Flip City is the King Arthur of humor magazines now, okay? But instead of hearing me talk about it and embarrassing the company anymore, let's hear it straight from them.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
All right, so now at this point, you should be chomping at the bit to get your hands on some Flip City Magazine if you haven't already. So if you haven't got a subscription already, well, we're making it very, very difficult for you to procrastinate. We are literally obliterating, torpedoing all your excuses by us putting the Flip City link down in the description to make it so easy for you to subscribe to Flip City if you haven't already. And as you see, if you put in promo code MOVIES, you're going to get 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around. And just to show you that I've taken my own advice, check that out. Flip City Magazine. Got it right here in my hands. That's what we call physical evidence, Your Honor. Exhibit A right here. Flip City in my fingertips. And yeah, you get some great artwork in here. Check that out. Very, very nice. Kind of an old school thing where you've got a magazine that you can just hold in your hand and read. And it's just like old fashioned, right? Because, it gets old after a while to just, look at a story or look at an article on your phone or your tablet or whatever, Sometimes it's kind of refreshing to hold on to something like kind of tactile in your hands here and check things out. But yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Look at that. Got comics in here as well to crack you up. And, we even got articles with big words, right? Some big old Harvard level words right there. But yeah, grab yourself some Flip City Magazine today, everybody. Yes. And yeah, they're just cool enough to sponsor the show. We definitely appreciate their help. Right there. Yeah, there you go. And again, hey, get in the live chat there. If you aren't in the live chat already, okay, don't be shy to get in the live chat. All right. We won't bite much. Or hey, you know what? If you don't want us to bite, you can always pay us off. We have a no bite fee in the live chat. No, I'm kidding. Some people might like that actually, so that might entice some people. Like, ooh, they bite people in the live chat. All right, sign me up there, big boy. Okay, so there you go on that goofy note. I think it's time to jump into my favorite segment of every Movies Merica spoiler warning show. And that, of course, is the movie military moment. All right, so I suppose I should explain what the movie military moment is, just in case we have some newbies here to the Movies Merica spoiler warning world. Okay, and what it is so I like to pay homage. I like to pay honor to Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. Okay, so our brave service members that have been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, and of course, rightfully so. You may be wondering, what the hell does that have to do with movies there, Van? What are you up to, Van? What are you trying to pull there, guy? All right. Well, I'll let you know. I shall keep you in the know about what the connection is. So, as you would imagine, if you are awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, you have to do something pretty badass to do it, right? To be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. You don't get it for being the best booger eater on Camp Lejeune, or being the best letter sorter at Fort Bragg, and yes, that is the actual name. That's the right name for that base. You don't get it for that. You get it for doing something that would just make your eyeballs pop out of your head if you saw it. Even not even in person, just on a screen. So say something like you're a helicopter pilot at NAM, and you're like weaving your Huey down to the Mekong Delta, and you've got VC, and they're like shooting at your helicopter, and it's a hot LZ, and you've got ammo, you've got supplies, and you got to get down there to the troops there, okay? But it's a hot LZ. You're taking fire left and right. You even got your captain on the radio going, "Get there, get your ass back here, get you and your chopper back here," right? And you're like, "No, sir, I'm getting down there. We got wounded to get out. We got supplies for the troops. I got to get there. Otherwise, they're all gonna die, man." And you go down there and you risk your life. Okay, you do this selfless action, or you're a Marine. You're on Iwo Jima and you're charging the beach, and you're out of rounds. And you're coming up on a Jap pillbox, and you see they're about to point, their big ass gun at all your buddies over there. They're about to just spray your buddies and just take them all out, right? And you're like, you know what? All I got is this grenade and in my gumption, And you run to the Jap pillbox with your grenade. You take them and yourself out there, but you save your buddies. All right, so something like that. All right, something heroic. Something if you saw it. A moment like that on a big movie screen in front of you, it would be a very cool movie military moment. And that's a connection. There you go. So how about that, everybody? And so today's honoree for the movie military moment is one Lance Corporal Richard Allen Anderson, who fought for us in the Vietnam War right there. And so I think we should get to know more about Lance Corporal Anderson. Don't you? I think we should. And so I also think that Lance Corporal Anderson deserves some badass music to play, along the bottom, as a kind of a bed of music as we learn more about what Lance Corporal Anderson did to deserve his Congressional Medal of Honor. So let's do that right now. This is the movie military moment. And for this movie military moment, we pay tribute to one Lance Corporal Richard Allen Anderson, who fought for us in the Vietnam War. And let's find out more about Lance Corporal Anderson, shall we? For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving as an assistant team leader with Company E in connection with combat operations against an armed enemy. While conducting a patrol during the early morning hours, Lance Corporal Anderson's reconnaissance team came under a heavy volume of automatic weapons and machine gun fire from a numerically superior and well-concealed enemy force. Although painfully wounded in both legs and knocked to the ground during the initial moments of the fierce firefight, Lance Corporal Anderson assumed a prone position and continued to deliver intense suppressive fire in an attempt to repulse the attackers. Moments later, he was wounded a second time by an enemy soldier who had approached to within 8 feet of the team's position. Undaunted, he continued to pour a relentless stream of fire at the assaulting unit, even while a companion was treating his leg wounds. Observing an enemy grenade land between himself and the other Marine, Lance Corporal Anderson immediately rolled over and covered the lethal weapon with his body, absorbing the full effects of the detonation. By his indomitable courage, inspiring initiative, and selfless devotion to duty, Lance Corporal Anderson was instrumental in saving several Marines from serious injury or a possible death. His actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of the U.S. Marine Corps and of the U.S. Naval Service. He gallantly gave his life in the service of his country. And we salute you, Lance Corporal Richard Allen Anderson, for what you did to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. And that has been the movie Military Moments. All right. Ooh, I'm so fired up. I can just run through a wall right now, man. Just give me just give me what I need, man. All right, just give me an M4, and I'm just gonna go out there. I'm just gonna obliterate some enemies. There you go. So yeah, Secretary of Defense Hegseth, send me now, and I probably would get killed right away. All right. Yeah, showing so much confidence in my abilities. Right there. You know what? I'm just keeping it real, folks. I'm just keeping it real. And while I keep it real, let's close out this movie Military Moment. Yes, there we go. And I think I spy some comments here in the old live chat right there. And all right, hey, we got Beyond Formal coming up in here and bringing the rain, and Beyond Formal's like, I'm a newbie. You are the opposite of a newbie there. You are a grizzled veteran there. Okay, so yeah, there you go. You're like a veteran soldier. Okay, you got all the new meat coming in Vietnam. You know, you got all the newbies there, and you're like the grizzled. You're like Willem Dafoe in Platoon, right? You're Elias, right? You know, you're like the grizzled veteran that has to train up all the newbies coming in that are probably going to end up, you know, basically just getting killed off and whatnot. So yeah, Beyond Formal, you're a veteran right there, and like Hacksaw Ridge right there. Yeah, great movie from Mel Gibson. That's an event movie from Mel Gibson right there. And yeah, we've got right there Professor Savage Dad. Professor Savage Dad is, yeah, he's got an alternate. He's like he's YouTubing it right there. I was hoping this would be good. And now he's going back to Rumble to keep us all on our toes and saying he is the best. And he needs that movie right there. And yeah, Professor Savage Dad saying, is Van frozen? Yes, my connection is dog shit right now. So I can basically right there. That's what's going on right there. You know how it is, Professor Savage Dad. You do a live stream right there, and it's pretty much just a crapshoot as far as if your internet is going to fuck with your show that night or not. So most of the time it's fine, but every once in a while, often enough to really annoy the shit out of you. You prep for a show, you do all this research, you prep for a show, and it all gets undermined by a shitty video connection right there. It's a beautiful experience right there. And Professor Savage Dad, I need Platoon. Yeah, that's a great Vietnam movie right there. I mean, I still like Full Metal Jacket better there as a Vietnam movie, but Platoon was such a phenomenon. We were talking about event movies earlier there, and Platoon, that was an event movie. Okay, it wasn't so much like people were anticipating or people were like, dude, Platoon's coming out like pretty soon. Like, no, Platoon flew under the radar because before Platoon came out, Oliver Stone was not a well-known director. He had only done, I think, Salvador was the only movie he had done before this series. He might have done like another movie before that, but primarily by the time Platoon came out, Oliver Stone was mostly known as a screenwriter only. He wrote screen wrote Scarface, and he did some writing. I think he wrote what was that? What's the movie? Midnight. I keep saying Midnight Cowboy. Midnight Express. I think he wrote Midnight Express back in the 70s. So Oliver Stone was known more as a screenwriter back then. And then he came out with Platoon, and Platoon just blew up. I mean, because I think like a few people went and saw Platoon, and it was such a phenomenon. It just blew their socks off so much. They went and started talking to those 5 people over there, and then this person went to talk to those 5 people down over there, and these 5 people over here talk to these 10 people, these 10 like it just the word of mouth of Platoon when it came out in 1986 just spread like wildfire. And so eventually I heard about it, and I was a little kid. It was young when Platoon came out. So even when I heard like, oh, Platoon, you got to go see this movie, I wasn't in a position where like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna just drive down to the theater and check out Platoon. Like I had to I had to wait till it came out on VHS to watch Platoon there. So, but hey, that's what happens. That's one of the good things about being an adult, right there. You have the freedom to do all kinds of stuff that you want. All right, so because right now, if I wanted to watch Platoon right after the show, nobody could stop me, right? Mom and Dad couldn't stop me. Nope, I could. I could watch it, and then I could eat all the Twinkies I wanted. I don't have no parents telling me I can't eat no sugar cereal or some sugar snacks and all that stuff. I am an adult. I can do all kinds of irresponsible shit. There you go. Professor Savage Jedi has been having the issue with StreamYard lately right there. Yeah, StreamYard is just, I don't know if my video problem is a problem with StreamYard necessarily. I know the problem I had on Sunday's show where I would try to play a video file and it just wouldn't even play. That's a StreamYard issue right there. But I think they've fixed that here because videos play just fine. So I've traded one issue from Sunday for another issue tonight right there. So yep, there you go. So if you've been asking yourself, hey, can Van sound like a whiny bitch? Well, I think that question has just been answered. All right. And real quick here, just let me remind you that, hey, you know what? In spite of my shitty video quality on the show tonight, and the fact that I'm all frozen, they're like a whacked out mafioso in the movie Goodfellas. I'm all frozen, right? You can throw a little money my way if you are appreciating what I'm doing enough to do that. So you can give me, if you're checking me out on Rumble, you can give me what's called a Rumble rant, and that just gives you the opportunity to throw some money my way. And the way you do it is very, very easy. All you have to do is in Rumble, down where you type in your very witty and earth-shattering live chat messages there. You just got to click on the button with a $sign on it, and it'll ask you how much you want to donate my way. Very easy. Now, if you're watching on the Tube of Views or YouTube, then you can give me what's called a super chat, and that is very much the same process. Down by where you type in the live chat message, just click on the button with the dollar bill on it, and again, it'll just ask you how much money you want to throw this guy's way right here. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Very easy lemon squeezy right there. So just a little bug in your ear to remind you that, you know what? If you got some cash, burn it up your pocket by all means right there. And I like that. I'm Sean Gab calls it a Uden tube right there. Yeah, I'm sure the neo-Nazis, that may be watching my show, they love that right there. The Uden tube there. So, and hey, Lindy Rig 87 classing up the joint over here and just got off work. What I miss? Oh, dude, you missed it all, man. We had Sydney Sweeney in here. She popped onto the show because me and her are just like that right there. And her bra fell off, and she exposed, her assets to the world right there. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, Ringo Starr showed up, and he played a solo song right there. And then we had President Trump showed up on the show, and we were picking his brain about flight risk and all that stuff. He's like, "Very good movie." Okay, let me spare y'all. I'm not going to try to do a Trump impression because I suck. So. You missed a little bit there, Lindy Brigade 87. All right, so, man, a smidge. You missed a smidge right there. But, hey, you know what? Better late than never. Am I right or am I right? So there you go. Dig that right there. So, yep. And Linda Regating something like, so the usual. Yeah, exactly. I should have just said that, right? I should have just distilled it down to that, like the usual. There you go. Just the usual. All right, let's do this here real quick. And speaking of the usual, what I usually do is I do have like a top 5 list of some sort at this part of the show right there. And so since we are doing a Mark Wahlberg movie, well, it stands to reason I should do a top 5 Mark Wahlberg movie list right there. And so this also gives you the opportunity to you just belittle me and just let me have it, just bust my balls beyond belief, by just totally just ripping on my Mark Wahlberg movie list. You just let me have it, and like, what the hell? That movie's on your list? What are you, a fag? What the hell, man? Just give me the business. All right, just do that. All right, so there you go. And it's like, you call this a YouTube show? What the hell? And you'll be thinking like, hey, your video part of your show isn't the only one that's frozen. Apparently your brain is frozen too. All right. So you should have included this movie on the top 5 Mark Wahlberg movie list. So yeah, give me that kind of shit in the live chat right there, or let me know of a movie that you feel should be in my top 5 list right there. But let's get into it right now. There we go. So the top 5 Mark Wahlberg movies, going from number 5 down to number 1. And just to let you know, I really scored these based on how good Mark Wahlberg is in the movie. Okay, not necessarily how good the movie is, but just how good Wahlberg is in the movie. There you go. That's surprisingly hard to say, right there. At least for me, it is. I don't know. It might just be a me thing. So starting off with number 5, we've got Shooter. Yes, Shooter here with him playing a sniper there. This is his first movie he did after The Departed, I believe. And I think this was directed by Antoine Fuqua, the same guy that did Training Day and just did the Terminal List series there on Prime Video. What else is Antoine Fuqua? Oh, he did The Magnificent Seven and Tears of the Sun. So Antoine Fuqua has done a few movies out there, but this is his movie with Mark Wahlberg. It's also got Michael Pena in it, and the very, very hot Kate Mara in this as well. And so basically the plot is like Wahlberg, he plays Bob Lee Swagger, one of the best movie names of all time. Bob Lee Swagger. Okay. There you go. Sounds like a porn name right there. Like Bob Lee Swagger is bringing his big combat cock to... No, anyway. It does sound like a porno name, right? Freaking Bob Lee Swagger is his asset is swagging. Anyway, but so yeah, he plays a sniper, and he's like I think he's on a mission. He's doing like Overwatch with another sniper at the beginning of the movie, and some bad shit goes down, and then he turns into kind of like a recluse. He's living in the mountains with his dog, basically living the life that a lot of us dudes, I dream about, like just living up in the mountains, like a mountain man, and living up there, just hanging out with a dog, and no one's bothering us, and all that stuff. We get to shoot shit, all that stuff, right? And then he's get some government guys showing up, saying, "Hey, man, we're afraid that this politician's, is going to be the subject. He's going to be the victim of an assassination. So we need you with your sniper expertise to come on out and check out the site where this politician is going to have a political rally, and then you can let us know, hey, where do you think the sniper would be? Where would the best spot for them to be would be?" Geez, that made a whole lot of sense. Where would he locate himself with his rifle, basically? And so he begrudgingly agrees to help them out, and then pretty soon he finds out, holy shit, they're trying to frame me for this assassination, and so he's trying to get away from the government because they're trying to cover up the fact that they tried to frame him, and they're that kind of thing. They're just trying to show that he killed the politician there, and so it creates all these action set pieces and that kind of thing, and so it's a very good, turn your brain off action movie. It's got some really good gun fights and that kind of thing, some very good kinetic action. But Mark Wahlberg does a very good job of just playing like this good old boy that can handle himself. And then Michael Pena is good in this as well. And one of the things I like about this movie is just the weaponry and just checking out the artillery that gets used. And then there's a really great scene at the end up on this snowy mountain where Mark Wahlberg's showing up in there, and he's got his big, his Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle, and he's just doing damage and that kind of thing. It's a very, very good, very unique action scene up on this top of this snowy mountain. It's kind of reminds you of like Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, that kind of thing. But Shooter's a really good movie. It's the bigger reason it's a good movie is just because of Mark Wahlberg's performance in it there. He's just like a no-nonsense, I ain't taking your shit, all right? You piss me off too much, I'm going to just take your ass out. And it displays that this, his Bob Lee swagger is a very good tactician. He's very good at surveillance, in addition to being, a lethal sniper. So very good movie there with Mark Wahlberg. And that is the number 5 Mark Wahlberg movie on my top 5 Mark Wahlberg list. And without further ado, let's move on to number 4. And that would be Lone Survivor. There's no way the movie Lone Survivor was not going to make my list of Mark Wahlberg movies, the top 5 Mark Wahlberg list there. And in here, he plays Marcus Luttrell, and he is the lone survivor, hence the title of the movie, of an operation called Operation Red Wings. Stifle your laughter, I know. But he's like one of 4 Navy SEALs that were tasked with assassinating a tribal, like a Taliban tribal leader. And so things don't go so well. And the story is probably so well known. I'm not spoiling anything by letting you know that, they're holding up, they're doing some recon out in the Afghan wilderness. They find their Taliban leader, and they're just waiting till dark, I believe, before they go down into the village to take the guy out. And while they're just in wait mode up there, some Afghans run into them, and it's like an old man and like some teenage boy and then some little kid. They're like herding their goats up in the Afghan mountains, and just out of sheer bad luck, they run into these Navy SEALs, and it puts the Navy SEALs in this moral dilemma, right? They can either kill the Afghans, or they can just tie them up and leave them there, which will probably surely just inevitably kill them anyway, or they could let them go, which would, people would say, well, it's the ethical, moral thing to do, but also it's pretty much like signing your death warrant potentially if you can't get on comms or communications and get someone to rescue you, someone to helo you or get you out of there with a helicopter. All right. So if you let them go, well, that teenage boy who it's made obvious hates America and hates these Navy SEALs. If he runs down the mountain, which the movie shows that he does, and gets to the Taliban and lets them know, hey, there's somebody, got some Navy SEALs up there on the mountain. You need to kill them. And if those Navy SEALs can't get rescued out of there, well, now they've got all these Taliban shitheads on their ass, right? And so that's the moral dilemma. If you ask me, they made the wrong decision. I would have tied the people up. I would have tied the Afghans up and just let fate decide what happened. So, you didn't necessarily kill them. All right, you didn't directly kill them if they do end up dying. I mean, you gave them a chance to live or whatever. So that's what I would have done, because then all those Navy SEALs, they'd still be alive today, right? So most likely. But hey, that's just the cold-hearted sucker that I am. I'm all America first, all right? So there. But they do end up letting them go. The Taliban gets notified of their presence, and the Taliban eventually finds them and just lays waste to them. Just these guys, these Navy SEALs, unfortunately, are just outnumbered. Okay, and so they, what happens is, they're just taking fire left and right. Three of the Navy SEALs die, leaving Mark Wahlberg as the lone survivor, the title of the movie, and he's just fantastic in this, just because I like his banter back and forth. The Taylor Kitsch in here, who plays like the squad leader of these Navy SEALs there, and then Mark Wahlberg does a fantastic job at the end of the movie where he's rescued by the member of the village there, and he's basically fighting for his life at the end. Mark Wahlberg does a very good job at compelling you emotionally to his character and to the plot of the movie. And so Lone Survivor, that's why it had to have a spot on my top 5 Mark Wahlberg list here. Before I get to number 3, I'm just going to take a tug off my beverage right here. But yeah, if you guys are drinking anything, go ahead, man, imbibe and drinky up there. So here we go. Oh yeah. The video quality is probably so shitty anyway, you probably couldn't even see me take a drink. Anyway. All right, let's get to number 3, or numero tres. And that would be Deepwater Horizon. So this is another collaboration for Mark Wahlberg with Peter Berg. And Peter Berg directed Lone Survivor. And then their next movie they did after Lone Survivor together is this movie right here, Deepwater Horizon. And this is a true story. Deepwater Horizon. It's the oil rig, like the exploration rig that was out there in the Gulf of America. Now, not the Gulf of Mexico. It was in the Gulf of America, and had the big BP oil spill out there because the cheap ass BP executives didn't want to follow all the right protocols, all the right safety protocols, and then then eventually nature finds a way to fuck your life up. Okay. And that's exactly what it did. And it basically resulted in I think still the biggest oil spill in world history, or at least American history out there. And so Mark Wahlberg, he plays like an engineer on this rig. He's basically, he's like the repair guy. If you need a repair on this rig, he's the guy to go to there. And Kurt Russell also is in this, and he does a fantastic job. He's like the grizzled, he's the head honcho on the rig here. And so this movie is fantastic just because it does an excellent job at helping you get to know just the salt of the earth, down home, blue collar, grab your lunch pail, hard hat wearing, obviously, guys and gals that are on this rig, right? They're just one big grizzled, dirt under your fingernails family here on the rig. All right. They got a tough job to do, but they're doing it, getting along, and just having that just kind of that fun dynamic as far as all the relationships go and that kind of thing. Now the job's not always fun, but just them interacting with each other is a good time there. So yeah, you get engrossed with these characters. You're like, oh yeah, that dude's known for that, and that woman's known for that, and this is what she does, and that's what he does. And man, these guys, like, they make working on this oil rig look like fun, and then when catastrophe strikes and the deaths come, because there were a lot of deaths that happened, all because of these BP executives, these BP representatives on the rig not following protocols, and because of their fuck up, there's a lot of families where their husband, their dad, their mother, I can't remember if there's any women that died, no more Christmases with them. Like, they'll never come back home just because of the fuck ups of others. Okay. And the people that did the fuck up in this movie, they made it out alive. Okay. So there's like, man, we should have done this. I should have done this different. Should have done this different. Hey, but at least I'm alive. It's all good. I'm alive. all these other people I don't give a fuck about, they're dead. But hey, they're not me. I don't care. So it's maddening when you think about it that way. So we see that in in life. A lot of times, like, people are like, well, I don't have to do a good job. I don't have to cross my T's and dot my I's, because if it ends up in something tragic, I'm not going to be in the crosshairs. I'm going to live. I'm going to be all right. Some people that I don't care about, they're not, but again, I don't care about them. So Deepwater Horizon, that's one of the the allegories of this movie, is that it's you don't want to leave the safety decision making up to a bunch of dudes that aren't necessarily going to bear the brunt of the danger that results from them fucking up there. So, but yeah, Deepwater Horizon's fantastic. It's a very emotional movie, especially at the end there, and just all these people just trying to make it off this Deepwater Horizon rig alive. It's just burning and everything's blowing up, and and then also it's got a great soundtrack to it as well. A fantastic, like, industrial synth soundtrack as well to it. And Mark Wahlberg, back to him, as he's like just an everyman. He does a great job at playing this everyman character that pretty much shows like he suffers no fools. He's got no time for these BP executives, because he knows they're exactly like what I described, that he knows they don't give a crap about him, and they're not thinking about him and his safety and the safety of the crew on this rig when they're making their crucial decisions. He knows that they don't give a fuck about him, and so yeah, he has total disdain for them in this movie. But yeah, that's enough about this movie, Deepwater Horizon. We're moving on to numero dos, and that would be Boogie Nights. Yes, there we go. Mark Wahlberg as Dirk Diggler, and then we got Dirk Diggler. Let me try that again. And then, of course, we got John C. Reilly as Reed Rothschild there. And this is the scene, where they first meet each other there, at the house there, Burt Reynolds' house in this movie. And this movie is a classic. I love this movie. This is one of those, again, this is a remote drop movie where doesn't matter what you're doing, you drop the remote, you sit down, and you watch yourself some Boogie Nights, okay? And this is really the movie that made him a bona fide movie star, that really got casting directors thinking about, like, oh man, I could put Mark Wahlberg in my movie here. I thought he was just some non-player. He was a nobody when it comes to an actor. But hey, you know what? Boogie Nights, he showed his acting chops. He showed he has range. All right, he's not just some bubble-headed dingbat. He showed some great emotional range in this movie. And the movie in and of itself is fantastic. It's the movie that also put Paul Thomas Anderson, the director, on the map. It revived Burt Reynolds' career. Okay, this is kind of like Burt Reynolds' Pulp Fiction. Like what Pulp Fiction was to John Travolta, Boogie Nights was that to Burt Reynolds. Okay, and they got Julianne Moore. Got the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. Doing his kind of Catho. I really like Catho, and because he's got the hots for Mark Wahlberg, for Dirk Diggler, and then Catho. And then John C. Reilly is hilarious as Reed Rothschild. Like, how much you bench, man? How much you bench? Oh, yeah. How much you squat? Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, me 350. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. And just Dirk Diggler and Reed Rothschild, just their friendship, they're just bros at the beginning, and then it turns much serious there as far as the danger and the menace of the movie. And of course, Heather Graham. This is a movie that put Heather Graham on the map here as well, and got her more in the sights of more casting directors there, with her very hot, very impactful role as Roller Girl in this as well. And then also this movie's just got a fantastic soundtrack, right? Not the music made by Dirk Diggler and Reed Rothschild right there. You got the power. Not that. So feel my heat. Like, just like god awful, songs that they did. And, Dirk Diggler is, like Mark Wahlberg, he's talked about, how they made, feel my heat and you got the touch, like those songs. He's talked about, that part of Boogie Nights in interviews, and people, come up to him and ask him like, hey, how did you like fake being so terrible at singing in Boogie Nights? And Mark Wahlberg just straight up said like, I didn't have to fake it. I suck at singing. All right. I told him, I'm like, he could rap. Obviously he was Marky Mark. But as far as actual singing, he's like, I suck at singing. So I was not faking it. All right. I didn't have to stretch my talents or anything like that for that movie. I just suck at singing. So what you heard there with my terrible singing in Boogie Nights, that was me. That was Mark Wahlberg right there. So and then of course we got William C. Macy was in this as well. But this movie really just started off Paul Thomas Anderson's career. I think he did Magnolia after this next, and did what else did he did like The Master and other movies. Can't remember the other movies he did. There Will Be Blood, another great Paul Thomas Anderson movie. But Boogie Nights. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, the classic scene where John C. Reilly and Mark Wahlberg and Thomas Jane, they go to the drug dealer's house. The drug dealer played by Alfred Molina. And they're gonna rob him, right? And just that very tense scene where Alfred Molina just plays like this crazy, scary, whacked out drug dealer, and you got the dude in the background. He's lighting off the firecrackers, and you got Night Ranger's Motorin, like playing in the background, or Jesse's Girl with Rick Springfield. Just that classic scene, which again makes this very worthy of being my number 2 on the top 5 Mark Wahlberg movie list right there. And we're moving on to numero uno, everybody. I know you just can't wait. Oh, you're just full of anticipation. And I won't make you wait any longer. Number 1 is The Departed. Yes, this is a movie that he got nominated for a Best Supporting Actor for here. So for that reason alone, it had to be my number 1 on the Mark Wahlberg top 5 movie list right here. Okay, when he plays Sergeant Dingnam there. That's a hard last name to say. Is it Dingnam or Dingham or is it Dingnam? I'm pretty sure it's Dingnam. And he just plays a take no shit, loudmouth, bellowing. I'm testing your resolve. I'm testing your nerve. I am going to break you down to build you. Well, it doesn't really build you up, but he's the bad cop, the Martin Sheen's good cop in this scene right here. And then of course, out of frame would be Leonardo DiCaprio in this. And he just, Mark Wahlberg's only in The Departed for like 10 minutes, but he steals every moment that he is in this movie. I mean, it's just like the part where, they're doing the sting operation on Jack Nicholson, and they're not getting the video that they want. And Mark Wahlberg's like, who the fuck didn't put a video out in the back? Like, oh, that would be me. And it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, hey, I'm the guy who does my job. You must be the other guy. Like just great lines like that. And then, but the classic scene, the most classic scene is the scene where Leo DiCaprio goes in there to talk to Martin Sheen and Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg just gives him the business, man. Just goes scorched earth on Leo DiCaprio, just because he's just trying to get a measure of the man, right, and see if he's worthy of the job, and if he can stay cool under pressure, even when you got some guy just busting your balls royally, okay, and just to see if he can, you just stay cool and keep his composure and all that stuff. And Leo DiCaprio's character, to his credit, in this role or in this scene, does exactly that. Okay, so there you go. And like Mark Wahlberg's Dingnam character says in this, like, you got an 1800 ACTs, you're a rocket scientist, not a statey, and so that's why they wanted him to be, undercover there for the Massachusetts State Police there, I believe. And then Mark Wahlberg, it's just his interaction with Alec Baldwin and Matt Damon and the other characters in this movie just kills it in this. And again, this is another movie that, Mark Wahlberg's fantastic in it, but this movie overall, of course, directed by Martin Scorsese, is a fantastic movie. Jack Nicholson is fantastic in this as, the very menacing Boston mob boss, Frank Costello. And then, Martin Scorsese, I think he finally won his Best Director Oscar for this movie. He had been waiting to win Best Director, get a Best Director Oscar for decades, right? He thought he was going to win for Raging Bull and Goodfellas and other movies, probably like Taxi Driver, and but he just couldn't get over that Best Director Oscar hump, and then he finally got it, I believe, with The Departed. And The Departed won Best Picture as well. And this is just a fantastic movie that I could watch this over and over again. It's just got so many quotable lines and that kind of thing, and everybody that's in it is fantastic. I mean, Matt Damon's great in it, but yeah, Alec Baldwin. Who else we got in this? That's pretty good. Anthony Anderson's in it, but he doesn't really do much in this. What's his face? The Jack Nicholson's right hand man in this. His name escapes me, but he's pretty good in it as well. And it's got the classic Martin Scorsese-isms, and it's got that classic rock soundtrack to it, and just sudden brutal violence in it as well. And this movie, I mean, the ending to The Departed, it pulls no punches, man. This is no happy ending in this movie. It is not the usual ending to a movie there. So Martin Scorsese, fantastic job in this. And Mark Wahlberg, fantastic job in this as well. And so that's why it's number one on my top 5 Mark Wahlberg movies list. Yes, right there. So again, let me know either live in the live chat right now, if you thought that I was smoking crack with my top 5 Mark Wahlberg list, or if you're watching this show later on, hey, the comments section down at the bottom, the comments section, that is where you let me have it. All right. And you let me know, like, my God, Van, what an idiot. What are you thinking with that list right there? Like, where's Ted? All right. Where's The Italian Job? Well, I mean, those movies and others, they were right on the cusp. They were right there, so close. Okay. I mean, almost at The Fighter. The Fighter was another movie I could have put in there. The Three Kings, lots of great Mark Wahlberg movies. Contraband, that's a kind of below the radar Mark Wahlberg movie that I like. Contraband's a great Mark Wahlberg movie, but it just didn't quite make the list right there. But yeah, so top 5 Mark Wahlberg movies. Let me know what you think there. And so, as we get towards the end of this episode of Movies Merica, spoiler warning, I want to let you know the movie for next week, for next week's episodes, is going to be Companion, all right? And don't let the title of the movie fool you. This is no Hallmark Channel movie or anything like that. It's supposed to be a pretty trippy, weird, disturbed fucking movie, all right? It's got the producer of Barbarian. And if you guys know my show, you guys know all about how I feel about Barbarian. That's like one of the best horror movies of the last 20, 30 years. Barbarian's a fantastic movie. And so the producer of Barbarian, or the director of Barbarian, is producing Companion. And it's got Dennis Quaid's kid in it, is starring in it. So Jack Quaid, I couldn't remember his first name there for a second. Jack Quaid is in it there. It's got the Sophie Thatcher, who we just saw in Heretic not too long ago. She's in it as well. And it's got like a Barbarian, like a vibe of Barbarian, as I am grossly burping here. Barbarian, last year's Cuckoo. It's got kind of like that weird, distorted, out there, bizarro world horror movie look to it. And so we'll see how I like it there. So yeah, Companion will be the movie I will be spoiler-free reviewing this Sunday on Movies Merica Live. And my connection better be a lot better on that show than it is on this one. That's why you're seeing my frozen video here. So that show comes on at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on Sunday afternoon. And then also that Companion's going to be the subject of the Movies America spoiler warning show a week from tonight, as well as I do a deep dive, an autopsy on Companion a week from tonight. Okay, so I'll let you guys know Sunday afternoon if you guys should go see Companion, and if I think it's good, you should definitely go out and see it at the theater. Flight risk, you don't have to see it at the theater, okay? But I already told you that in my spoiler-free review back on Sunday there. All right, so let's get ready to put the last nail in the coffin on this episode right here. But I can't do that without letting you know about some fantastic websites that you need to go to and save as a favorite or a bookmark. And the very first one is solo.to/moviesmerica. And the reason you want to save that as a favorite or a bookmark is that's the web page that has all my links to all my accounts. No, not bank accounts. Okay, there you go. Not those. You're not missing much, trust me. But it's got like my X account, Facebook, Gab, Rumble, all my accounts there, Letterboxd, Criticless, all my links right there. So if you don't feel like hunting and pecking all over Al Gore's worldwide interweb for everything that has to do with Movies America, well, work smarter, not harder. And save solo.to/moviesmerica as a favorite or a bookmark in your browser. All right, then we have moviesmerica.com. The only reason you want to go there is if you want to check out the audio-only version, like the podcast versions of my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, also known as Movies America Live. If you have to check out the podcast version of those episodes, they're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, pretty much anywhere that you would find finer broadcasts or podcasts, I should say. But I'll be honest with you, the procrastination bug hits me pretty hard with the podcast versions of those editions. So sometimes I don't get those out there on those podcast platforms until like 5-6 days after the episode. So it's better just to watch the episodes on YouTube or Rumble or X there. So that way you don't have to wait. All right. So, and then next, just to illustrate, I'm on the socials there. I'm on X and Instagram and Gab and Facebook and Rumble, all under the handle of @MoviesAmerica. Now, if you happen to see another Movies America account on any of those platforms, well, mine obviously is the one that has all the episodes on it. Okay. The other Movies America accounts, they don't have much on them, if anything at all. Mine is the one with the shitload of content on it. So there you go. And hey, go ahead. If I can implore you, please follow me on those platforms if you're not following me already. Okay. If you look for @MoviesAmerica on X and Instagram and Gab and Rumble. All right. Go ahead and follow me on there. And then I will do you a solid. I will follow you back on all those platforms that you follow me on. But you have to DM me in X. All right. Let me know via DM and X. Let me know, hey, Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform. And I will follow you back right there. Okay. And following me, it costs you absolutely nothing. Nothing. All right. So, but I want to repay the favor you're doing for me by following me. So then we have tdpn.locals.com. That is our Till Death Podcast Network website that I was telling you all about earlier with all our great content. And then again, we have our merch store available to you for your opportunity to get all kinds of Movies America merch. And again, that merch store link is in the description down below right there, making it very easy for you. And then next, we have solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And now that's where you would go and save as a favorite. If you want a website that has all the links to anything that has to do with the Till Death Podcast Network, which is the network that you're watching this very show on right now, okay? And then we have solo.to/Till Death Studios. And now this is not a site for everyone. And I say that because this is a site you'd want to go to if you are into the content creation game like I am. I'm doing a show right now. Or if you have a show like Lindy Rig 87 in the live chat, or Beyond Formal, or I'm Sean Cab that we saw in the live chat there, or Professor Savage Dad. they all have shows too. They're all content creators, all right? They're all showmen, right? And, if you have a show and you're like, man, my show looks kind of boring. I need something cool like that movie military moment intro that Van was playing earlier. Well, if you want cool shit like that for your show, then go to solo.to/Tilde Studios, and my man Ian will hook you up with his skills that pay the bills to give your show the thrills, all right? So, but you got to go there, all right? Do it. Get it done. And then we have what do we got here? What are we on next here? Oh, yeah, solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. That's where you would go and save as a favorite or a bookmark if you want a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with I'm Sean Cav. And he was in the live chat, at least he was, or maybe he still is. He's got great content for you to check out, like he does an X Space every Friday afternoon. He's an author, okay? So he's an author, so check out links for his books there, at solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. All kinds of goodies there at that website. And check this out right there. Because then we're getting 7, keeping us in the know. He's here because the internet outages at the hotel there. Oh, man, sorry to hear that right there. So I don't know if you're at the Motel 6 or at some swanky 5-star resort there. But, hey, good to know that you guys, or that you are still here. Lindy Rig 87 right there. So it does not go unnoticed. And hopefully your internet connection there clears up there sooner rather than later. But next we have solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist. And that's where you would go if you want to see all the links that have to do with that wild and wacky show. And I'm sure you guys all check out every Monday and Wednesday nights. And then every other Tuesday, the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. And so I bet one great way to always have the links to the latest episode to that show at your fingertips is to save solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist as a favorite or bookmark on your browser there. So get it done right now. And then last but certainly not least, solo.to/Till Death Podcast. That's where you would go to save this website, or this is where you would go to see all the links have to do with the flagship show of the Till Death Podcast Network, the show that started it all, the Till Death Podcast. And that lovely, lovely little show comes on every other Saturday afternoon. And that has my man Ian and his lovely bride Jen. And they just go over all the latest headlines and hot button sizzling topics of the day and funnies and what have you. But they go over it all. They break it all down, marinated in their marital mirth, okay? And they're just busting each other's balls the whole time. But showing you how heartwarming they are and all that stuff. It's just a fantastic show. So go check it out right there. And I don't know why I'm doing this voice at all. Okay. So solo.to/Till Death Podcast. Check that out, everybody. Do it. All right. But now we're really, really close to the end of the show right there. But I can't end the show, everybody. I can't end the show, of course, without letting you guys know that, hey, people, get out there. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey, everybody, don't leave yet. Okay? Hey, I got just enough time. I got the police after me, okay? And, oh man, they're gonna get me at any time. I got just enough time to ask you to like this video and also subscribe to this channel if you would, man. You'd be doing me a big favor, okay? And please make sure to like these videos, or watch them and then like them, okay? That'd be great. And again, thanks for watching, okay? And subscribe to the Till Death Podcast Network and Movies Merica. I gotta go.